the great, you know, whatever, the Great Virginia earthquake. You didn't hear about it? Yeah, an earthquake.
No, that's why I was asking. What earthquake is he talking about?
To explain now to 27288 that you have to mute your mic when you're not talking or there's feedback. Well, I think they got it right now. It's okay. Never mind.
I didn't think that my mic was on. I thought that you had to press.
I think the press. I don't know what you said. You just said it very slowly and quickly and confusingly.
Can you hear me, yeah?
I can hear you, yeah. Yeah, you speak my language. Yeah.
Ja, du sprechen Deutsch.
Yeah, Deutsche and stuff. We take over the world. Fucking Deutschland and such. Edelweiss, Edelweiss. We will crush and destroy you. Yeah.
So when are we going to speak about some nihilism or anti-nihilism?
Yeah, I love Edelweiss actually. It's my favorite song. But anyway, yeah, you gotta turn up your volume just a little, which is a little tricky, but yeah. Or I'll have to just listen harder. So when are we going to talk about something you said?
Yeah, my mic is bad, so sorry about that. But I said, when are we going to speak about some nihilism or anti-natalism, you know, or the moral system, what comes about from that?
Well, we've already done that. We've been there and done that over and over and over. But nihilism is a tricky word, right? Nihilism, I call it. Nihilism. Tomato, I guess. Yeah, Nietzsche. People just keep changing the ground there, and it's just so irritating. You know, it's like, oh, well, Nietzsche didn't believe it was futile. Well, fuck no. Yes, he did. I mean, come on. He said pretty much in his own words. Let's see. Can't do anything. Fuck it all. Play with yourself. I mean, he just gave up entirely on doing anything about anything.
Didn't he go insane?
Yeah, sorry, Gare. I've been reading Nietzsche for about 25 years, and well, let's just say we disagree on that.
But he went.
Well, why no? Well, he was insane. Yeah, and his last book sold whatever 42 copies. But let's just go with the what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? This is one of his great quotes, right? Well, it is a garbage quote, right?
Das macht nicht unbedingt macht mich stärken.
Yeah.
That which does not kill you makes you stronger.
In German, it sounds just as retarded as in English. It's a stupid quote. I don't know why people keep on quoting that. Whatever doesn't kill you leaves you with another fucking trauma.
Yeah, or else it leaves you fucking without a leg, you know, or missing half your brain, or your eyesight, or, you know, we can go down the list of all the horrors. You can be left completely broken, destroyed, without any kind of, you know, self-esteem, without any kind of strength or anything left. You can be just destroyed.
Sorry, I couldn't get that image of fucking without a leg. Just brought to the forefront Sarah Bernhardt, English actress, late 19th century. She fucked without a leg.
Whatever. So, good for her. You know, I really don't. No, non sequitur much.
Anybody want to pick up Obamacare?
Oh. It's not even Obamacare anyway. But this is just all the fucking, you know, whatever. It's just, this is the way they set it up. So they set it up the world so everybody's happy, you know, and that, you know, there's plague in their stew instead of typhus. I mean, it's just so stupid. I mean, now everybody's happy that we have typhus. Oh yeah, typhus is so much better than plague.
The thing I honestly...
God, if we get off into Obamacare, I swear to God, this will definitely consume the next 5 hours of conversation, and we'll be fucked.
Well, that won't happen. There's no way I would tolerate talking about it that long, but it's not going to happen anyway. Obamacare is dead because we're not paying for the bills now. How the fuck are they going to pay for Obamacare? Oh, that's right. No chance.
I heard worldwide we're in debt for $1 quadrillion.
Well, we're not. So we already went over this. The U.S. government is in debt to the cash that has its name on it and the bonds that has its name on it. The rest of the debt is all a bunch of rich people stealing from each other. And as long as we don't choose to bail them out, they're tough shit.
So what do we do to choose not to bail them out?
Well, when the bankruptcies start and the stock market crashes, we have to vote for somebody who isn't going to give them all the money to put back in the stock market. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Obama and Romney aren't going to be the answer, so if it crashes in the next 4 years, I guess we're sort of fucked. Again, they don't have the money anyway, so they can't bail out. The bailouts have to stop at some point anyway, because we don't have any money.
Unless they come up with a new gimmick.
Well, I'm just saying, the only gimmick there's going to be, they already gimmicked themselves out, okay? I mean, I'm just saying, their gimmicks are numbered. They've already played the, let's put it off 3 to 6 years by giving people bonds for all that Fannie Mae bad paper, and let's shove all the bad paper into Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac so no one knows it's all there. They've already done that, so that's going to blow up in 2 to 4 years anyway. And they've printed cash twice now. How many times can they get away with that? How many times can they devalue cash by 20%? Oh, I don't think they can do that too many fucking times without causing massive inflation. So they're fucked. The game's over.
I think the dollar's down to around 75 cents. So they could literally, if they crash it, go down to 40 cents on the dollar. And yeah, that would just be really ugly, but it would probably end up a world currency of some sort.
Well, it wouldn't matter. I'm just saying, if that happens, it's going to kill a lot of rich people too. So that's the point. I mean, people are going to, there's a point where people will stop going to work, okay? You devalue the currency enough, people are going to say, either pay me more or I'm not going to work.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed around here anyway is people are doing more like deals, you know? You do this, I'll do that. There's a lot more bartering going on and, you know...
Yeah, anecdotal mishmash that doesn't add up to nothing. Sorry, that's not evidence of anything. It's like a Thunderfoot video. You can't just say something like, well, you know, it's been my experience. Well, fuck that. That's not an argument. So yeah, unless you produce some sort of evidence of this bartery crap, that there's a whole big economy running on barter. I haven't seen any of it, so I say that's a crock of shit.
Define here, please. What's the? Hey, Elrodon, define here. You said around here in your last, whatever.
In my neighborhood.
What does here mean? What's the cross section in terms of geography? What are you talking about? Like New Hampshire, Connecticut, New York, whatever. What are you talking about in terms of here? What does here mean?
Just in my community, my little neighborhood, people are just doing they're time banking stuff, and they're doing stuff for other stuff instead of just getting paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just know what you mean, that you're just talking shit, okay? So fine, go ahead. I mean, look, you have this little thing in your head that we're going to go back to 1776, and we're going to light our houses with lightning bugs, and, fly kites for our electricity or some kind of bullshit. It ain't going to fucking happen. Alright, so dream on. Alright, the world is not coming back. We're not going to go to the market with our pig and trade it for 4 ducks. None of that shit's gonna happen.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that people are surviving. They're making do with what they've got. That's all.
Well, whatever. You're saying. It's just anecdotal crap.
Let's speak about some nihilism.
Oh, whatever. Again, this is survival. This is such a crock of shit. People are bankrupt. Okay, they can't pay their mortgages. They're getting them refinanced. Which is really funny. Because the banks are afraid to admit they're fucking no chance they're ever going to be able to pay off this mortgage.
Gary, let me ask you a rhetorical question, if you don't mind. I mean, do you think most, some, most, all of the American banks are bankrupt? And same question for the European banks, and I guess same question for, the globalist banks. What do you think?
All assets have been way overvalued, which means they've sold too many IOUs for the value of the assets. So yes, you want to say the banks are bankrupt. Yeah, you want to say they're holding assets that aren't worth their value. So of course most banks hold a huge percentage of mortgages. Obviously mortgages are all bullshit. The assets aren't worth what the piece of paper says it's worth. And that's the problem. So if you want to say they're bankrupt from that perspective, certainly. They're bankrupt from the perspective that they financed a hell of a lot of debt. They're just corporate debt, all kinds of debt that can never be paid back. And so yeah, they're bankrupt. But who's bankrupt? The people who have been buying into this idiotic system where, well, the stock market keeps going up. I makes my 10% not doing a damn thing. Yeah. So if surplus keeps growing, who's paying for the extra surplus growth? Oh, that's right, nobody, because no one's done any real work in this country for fucking 50 years. So how the fuck could we be creating something valuable enough for all these people to get so fucking rich? Oh, that's right, because they made it up. It isn't a real value. What they own is a bunch of shit that says we're going to be productive in 10 years from now. Well, we're not going to be productive 10 years from now. So it's a lie. So yeah, I mean, but you want to say the banks are bankrupt, or do you want to say the stockholders are bankrupt? I mean, their assets are worth 2 cents on 3 cents on a dollar. That's what the real company is worth. So who's the idiot? I mean, it's right there in front of them. Okay, the asset value of their stock is 3 cents on a dollar. So who's the idiot? I didn't force them to buy that crap.
Yeah, good response. So, I was going to ask you a couple other questions, but in light of your previous response, it just seems irrelevant now. So I'm going to ask you a completely different question. What can we use as fungible currency? I mean, you've come out with your opinion on precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium.
No, you gotta go with you can't do it that way. I mean, you gotta own a commodity, right? So you could for your personal safety of your assets, you could buy something that has a lot of production value. So I mean, if you could buy a tanker full of Twinkies, yeah, I'd say it's all win. There's just no way you could lose because it's a lot of oil went into making it, a lot of sugar, a lot of valuable commodities. And its current buying price is really low, so yeah, it's just no way you could lose. So even in the worst economy, you're going to do good, and even in a not bad economy, you're still going to do just fine. Twinkies aren't going to get less valuable. So that would be a place to be. But all this gold and shit, gold is only useful in a functioning economy. In a dead world, gold isn't going to be worth shit because nobody's going to pay to have it assayed all over the place. How are you going to use gold as transaction currency when no one could trust it? Everybody would be saying, is this counterfeit? Is this counterfeit? Is this counterfeit? And you're going to have to pay a fortune to have it checked.
No, good points. As opposed to silver, which I guess, retains a fractional amount of gold, 10% or whatever. Perhaps.
Yeah, well, the higher the overvalue, the more incentive for the creative counterfeiter. But either one, like I said, in a desperate economy, both are going to be of, I think, limited value. I mean, lead might be worth more because it might have more use.
Yeah, remelted down bullets. God dang it! I had a question I wanted to ask you, and now I can't remember it. Sorry, you'll have to go on without me.
The nice thing about silver, though, it's used in all kinds of electronics, which is good. And the other thing is, if you buy silver, you get minted coins from the U.S. government. That's pretty safe. If you get
them. Well, it's not safe. It's not safe in a world where there's no way to tell what's counterfeit and what's not. So it's not safe. How easy it is.
By U.S. government.
Well, I'm just saying we're talking about the U.S. government being pretty much fucked. So we're talking about a desperate economy, not a functioning economy. So if you don't have some federal officers who are going to come arrest you if you're passing around fake silver dollars. Yeah, there's going to be lots of fake silver dollars around.
There's also cocoa.
Well, again, all of these things, you don't want to go back to the old days, okay? But the fact is it's all going to be based on your reliability. So you're not going to be able to do business with the rest of the world because you're not going to be able to trust anybody. And the only trust there's going to be is I'm going to come shoot your fucking ass if you cheated me, you bastard. And that's going to be the only way people are going to get into any kind of transaction with anybody is they're going to have a gun up their ass. And they're both going to be sitting there holding the triggers on their guns up each other's ass and say, okay, I'll do business with you, but you fuck with me, I'm blowing your ass off. And that's the only way they're going to do business. I mean, it's going to be incredibly unproductive and inefficient and all that shit. So we're not going to, it's not going to matter about electronics and all this other crap. There ain't going to be any of that shit.
You really expected to get that bad?
Well, you're the one running around like Henny Penny. I mean, she's all of a sudden now you think it's going to get that bad? Well, again, I don't want to go through this again, but the rich people are not going to pay the people of New York a welfare check every month to sit around and watch TV. All right? They're not going to do it. So as soon as the people in New York City ain't paying their bills, as soon as the rich people don't get any graft from them, their stocks don't go up or nothing else goes up, and they don't make any money off the fuckers, everything gets shut down. Rich people only invest in something that gives them a return. When the returns stop, their investment's going to stop. That means 11 million zombies from New York alone. Okay, that's just one fucking city. Okay, you got Miami zombies, New York zombies. The zombies will be running wild. All right, you talk about that bad? Yeah, it's going to get that fucking bad.
Well, let's define that bad. What is that bad? Gary's version of New York, 4 million people live on Manhattan, zombies. We all know it's a metaphor for, hungry people, fanning out through the countryside. Is that bad, or is it The Road with Morgo Cretenson, or whatever his name was? The Road. You guys have seen the movie. Or is it Mad Max bad? Where we're driving around on limited petrol, hacking, sawing heads off other people to get what we need. What are we talking about when we're talking about bad? In that spectrum from 1 to 10.
Well, it depends on how far in you are. The first year will be like The Road, and the second year will be like the other one, and then the third, fifth year to the 10th year will be Mad Max. And then everybody will be dead.
Gary, if you've ever seen The Road would come last. Like, The Road is so...
Well, I don't know what The Road... I saw commercials of The Road. It just looked kind of like, oh, yeah, look, me and my son... Well, I'm not really molesting him, but it sort of looks like I am. But anyway, we're just walking the road, and there's fires and stuff, and we're walking the road. I mean, to me, it just didn't look like a movie. Ooh,
nah,
like
The Road's
Vigo.
pretty bleak, Gary.
Well, I know it's bleak. I mean, you can tell it's goddamn bleak because it's really dark. So, yeah, dark and bleak go together. It's like Paul. Paul's in the dark, so he's kind of bleak. How's your back, Paul? Doing better?
No, same old shit. Although now I have narcotics to help with it.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, you're good at liquid Vicodin and stuff, so yeah, you probably like that. Put a little of that in the drink.
Yeah, Paul. Throw those narcotics in the trash, man. Just pick yourself a bottle of whiskey and do that. Those narcotics will
fuck you up. Yeah, well, they don't give you enough of them to fuck anything up anymore. That's just, I don't have enough here.
That's just for celebrities. That's just for celebrities who have a lot of doctors. Us regular people can't really get addicted. Damn it.
Throw them in the waste can, Paul. That's my advice.
There's the fat cat again. Yeah, whatever. Stupid advice.
Have you ever heard of a guy named David Harvey?
No, who cares? I hate that. I just hate that. I just hate when people start with, a name drop. I'm going to name drop now. Fuck name dropping. Make an argument or don't make an argument, but don't drop fucking names. Unless it's like Einstein. Okay, you want to drop Einstein's name now and then? Go ahead. But everybody else's name, I don't want it fucking dropped.
David Harvey is the person who speaks about Marxism.
Yeah, well, why did
Marx
Paul
spoke about Marxism?
He wrote whole fucking goddamn books. Marx wrote. He doesn't need no Harvey guy to speak for him.
No, but David Harvey's quite cool. He does actually break him down quite well. I think he's the leading speaker on Marx.
Then more reason for me to hate him. So if he has the title "The Leading," then okay, he's 90% fucked hard.
Has anybody heard of Friedrich Nietzsche? Anybody?
Oh man, 27 years studying Nietzsche. Right here, bro. Ask me any question.
How much did Hitler love Nietzsche?
Well, I assume that was from Gary. It sounded like Gary. Hitler loved him a lot. In fact, he paid a number of visits to Nietzsche's sister's house, where he tried to glorify Nietzsche for the sake of the Nazis. But Nietzsche actually was a vehement anti-Semite. That's why he broke ties with Wagner in the late 19th century. Nietzsche hated people who were anti-Semites, so he wasn't in any way, shape, or form a Nazi.
Well, it doesn't matter. He was an asshole. So that's as far as I go. So assholes, unite, in my opinion. Blind leading the blind.
Just for the record.
He was an
For the
asshole
record,
at times, but he was probably one of the most insightful, brilliant philosophers in the last several centuries that's ever walked the face of this earth. The man was a genius.
Well, give me the paraphrase then. What's so genius about him? Like I said, we can go through all his famous quotes, and as I think I can point out pretty quickly, they're all bullshit. They're just little jingoisms. So what's the real depth of his philosophy? You give me 3 or 4 sentences that say it all. What does it say? It basically says, life is shit. Fuck them before they fuck you.
Well, you're right about the life is shit part. I mean, in his early years, he had an affiliation with Schopenhauer, and he definitely did feel that life was shit. But
I guess your finger fell off the button or something. But he...
Sorry, I don't know where I fell off.
But he... So life was shit, but he...
Oh, that far back, huh? Okay, I think, let me try to keep an eye on the screen and the button. I think what he was saying was that life was indeed shit, but that was in his earlier years when he was infatuated with Schopenhauer, and he gradually came to a 180-degree opposite of that, which was the beneficence toward life, you know, effulgence toward life. And that's what I'm saying. I guess that got cut off in the last transmission.
Why is that brilliant? Why is that brilliant? Just do it is brilliant. Oh, Nike's brilliant after all. Did everybody know that? Nike's brilliant. Just do it. It's so Nietzsche.
Oh, can't even reach down.
I'm sorry, I can't find brilliance in people that couldn't even recognize that their fucking, you know, evening dinner came at a price. I mean, sorry, he got more optimistic about how cool life was, and I'm supposed to say he's brilliant? Sorry, that means he's a fucking retard.
Nah, he's not a fucking retard, Gary. I mean, check out Human.
No. Like I said, see, again, every time I challenge one of these Nietzsche jackasses to give me some sort of paraphrase of his brilliance, they don't come up with anything. They come up with shit. Well, he talked to Schopenhauer, and then, you know, they did blow each other, but that was a short-term relationship, and it really wasn't for the long term. And then later on, he decided that, oh, I like this big fat woman, and so then life was good. I mean, what the fuck? You're not saying anything.
I think Nietzsche would have liked you, Gary. I mean, he would have recognized in you a kindred spirit. You're a lot like him in so many ways.
Yeah, right. I'm qualified as insane by the general population. Right. Okay. So yeah, we have so much in common, except philosophically we fundamentally don't agree about anything.
But Nietzsche had a hard life, and that's why he went insane.
No, that's not why. Excuse me. That's not why Nietzsche went insane. He visited some whorehouses in Cologne in his early 20s, and he contracted syphilis, which leads to softening of the brain in its tertiary stages, and that's what he suffered from. He was not insane until he finally cracked under the influence of syphilis.
Really softening your brain. It's the microbes drill holes in it. Yeah, like every other organ. Yeah, so yeah, okay, it doesn't matter what he died of. It doesn't matter whether he went insane. The point is I just don't think he was all that, okay? I mean, this is all just, whatever you call that. What do you call it when people make a hero out of a nothing? There's a word for that. But that's what it is. It's all name and no
Idolatry.
style and no substance. Yeah, he had a fancy mustache. I mean, all you people are just fucking mustache files or something. And if you got a cool mustache, you're smart. And that's all it is.
No, I mean, Gary, you're cool. You're
Well, whatever. Same thing with the mic thing. But anyway, enough of Nietzsche stuff. I'm gonna have to, you know, well, I guess I'll have to read his whole Wikipedia page and then do a critique of Nietzsche. But yeah, I ain't reading his bullshit.
you don't have to read the entire oeuvre of Nietzsche. Just I mean, he's an